Heidi ho, my crafty friends. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. So, I do need to apologize for the break between videos. So, after the last video, I hurt my back. So, I have been recovering from that. And then after that, I had to get a new phone because my phone crashed. And then I lost access to this channel and I just got it back. So, woohoo. So, let me tell you, it has been an adventurous week and a half or so. So, today I want to continue working in our little craft journal, or this little journal right here, because I've been dying to get back to it. And we finally figured out how I can sit in my chair and not mess my back up again. And we're going to give it a try today and hopefully not mess it up. So I want to combine these two right here. And this is by, I'm going to show you the book that it's in. I'm still playing around in this art journaling. And it is from the July, August, September 25 edition. Even though I've already got my new edition, I really am enjoying this one. And it's volume 17, issue 3. And you can buy it online at stampington.com. And I will put their, I want to show you, here's their, let me see, I know their website is here. Here it is, right here. Their website is right down here, Stampington and Company Art Journaling Magazine. It's right down here. Can you see it? And you can buy it on their website if you choose. Now you can also purchase it in bookstores like Barnes & Noble, and if you have any other bookstores around you, you can buy it in those bookstores. And they are lovely magazines. Now, on these pages of, looking at pages 30 and 31, are by Peggy Tunnell. And I love her work. She has done a fabulous job. And this is called Recounting and Expressing Surprises in Art and Journals that she has done. And I'm going to take these sticky notes off here so you can see what I'm doing. I marked, as you could see, I marked pages in here that I wanted to play in, and then I hurt my back. So these are supposed to be like in a tag journal, but I wanted to combine them on a page. So we're going to do that part and that part, and we're going to combine them into a page in my journal. And I want to show you how I want to do that. So I'm going to put this magazine aside so I don't get it dirty. And this is the first video with my new phone. So hopefully this video will make sense. Hopefully. So what I did was I just secured these pages down so they're not flipping and flopping. And I covered the pages. This is the page I want to work on. And I covered the rest of the book so that it wouldn't get all yucky over here like this. And I secured it down like that. And then I took this. See, I just took this, folded this in, and then clamped it down, because I don't want to get the rest of the book and any other pages that we've done. And I'm going to fold that down. I'll leave that side up. I don't want to get any of the other pages that we've done all yucky. So I think I will go on and put another paper clip back here to hold this piece down like that. Okay, because it's not going to hurt, I don't think, anything we're going to do. And if it does, I'll pull them out. Actually, I think it will. It'll get in the way. So we'll just leave that flat for right now. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use my Lindy's and Gang. It's called the Magical Fairy Garden Green, and it's their powdered ink. And I love Lindy's ink. I just absolutely love it. Love it, love it. And if you've never used Lindy's ink, I highly recommend it. And I also recommend Lindy's ink. I'll put their link down below. I have several of their sets. And I've used so much of this that they're little. This little cap cover has fallen in. Now, on my desk, I have water. Now, I've got gloves on because I have a hair appointment this afternoon to get my hair trimmed. And I didn't want to go in with green fingers, although I might end up going in with a green shirt. So I'm going to cover that and put the top back on it because I don't want it blowing all over the place. And then I'm going to take, I have my little water bottle here, and I'm going to I've got it on my clear acrylic block. And I have to get some water pumped back into it. Hold on a second. Ouch. Let me pump it over here. Okay. I want to pump some water in over here. And slowly bring it into the powder. I think I have a little bit too much water. It's all right. We'll just add more ink. Oh yeah, I have way too much water. So I'm going to do this just like I do all of my others. Now you can see by looking at it, it's got kind of a little bit of a glitzy look to it. All the different layers of colors. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run it off here. And I just want it to run a little bit. There. And I just kind of want to smush it around. Now, I want to kind of do this until it dissolves a little bit more. I'm going to use my finger here. Now you can see it's got layers of colors. You can kind of see the darker greens, and then it's got kind of an undertone of that light pinkish like you'd see on mushrooms, and it still ran a little bit here into my other pages, but that's all right. There, you can see it really well over there. It's got the lighter pinkish browns and the darker greens. It's a little wetter than what I wanted, so I'm just going to take this. I'm going to dry it off a little bit. That's because I had too much water on it. Okay, now the little bit that's left on there is what I wanted. That was how I wanted it. So I'm going to take what's left, and I'm going to take this off. Now you've seen me do that before with Ranger oxides. Now I'm just gonna use this, and I'm gonna just kind of stand this up, and I'm just gonna dry it a little bit since this is really wet. And as I dry it, you'll start seeing the colors emerge a little bit better. You can start seeing the goldish color come out down here. Can you see? Ooh, I can't get my finger down there. Can you see the gold come out down here at the bottom? Right down here across the bottom and the top, or the side, I mean, across the side here. Can you see it right there? It's got a lot of different colors mixed into it, and it's such a pretty color. Now I'm not going to leave the white edges, so, you know, don't panic. But I wanted this around the edges here. Now I do want to dry this edge because it's probably gone through some other pages. Yeah, it kind of seeped through back here, so I want to make sure that that's dry so it doesn't stick. And I wanted to make sure that that was dry before I did anything else. So let me make sure here. It's a little warm, but yeah, it's dry. Okay. Okay. Now also, this is where, this is, they come in tubes. Like you can buy them together as a set. And this is called the Enchanted Forest. Is this color, the Fairy Garden set. Comes with Toadstool Taupe, the Dragonfly Denim, which is gorgeous, the Gnomeberry Bordeaux, Sparkling Sunset, and the Fairy Garden. So the next color that I want to use is the Sparkling Sunset, which I think is that one. And we're going to be a little more gentle with the water. I think we're going to even take up a little bit of that. And I didn't clean that off. I left it like it was, and it's just like if I was cleaning it. I just put a little bit on there. And this I want to put around the edges. That's what it looks like before you do anything with it. So I want to get my brush a little wet. Kind of get it rinsed off here a little bit. And I'm just dipping it in here. And then if I need any more water, I can get it. There, I think that'll work. I'm going to sit that way over there. So I'm mixing it really well to get all that dissolved. And I've just got a little brush. It's just a cheap little brush. A little round brush. And I just use it to pick up the powder, you know, and to mix things around. And I do need just a little bit more water. Just a little. One little squirt will do. There we go. To help get it all off of my brush and to help it dissolve. Now this color, I'm going to just bloop around the edges of this. And because there's not a lot of water on it, there will definitely be some intense color. So let's kind of drag it in here, make sure it's dissolved well. Let me look at it here. Okay. I think I need to lay this down a little flatter. Now I'm taking some of this that I just did and I'm dragging it around the edges. Now I want it around the edge of the page. Oops, I think I'm getting it around the edge of the other page. I want it around the edge of this page. There we go. I want it that page. Okay. Okay. Now let's get just another dribble of water on here. There's still ink on here, and there's still a lot of ink in my brush. A whole lot of ink in my brush. That's why I keep doing it, because every time my brush gets wet, I come up with more. There we go. Okay. Okay, now some of this is going to be covered here. Or a lot of it is anyhow. So let's see what all we can get off of my brush here. I think my brush has just about got it off. Yep. Okay. Let's wipe this off. And let's go on and wipe my brush off. I know, this is the messy stage, isn't it? All right, so let's go on and put the top back on this. And I'm doing it over top of this, so if any of it falls out and falls on there, we can get this wet. And see, a little bit of it did as I put the top back on it. So that's okay, because I can go on and squirt this a little bit. And I can take this and I just reactivated it, and whatever fell out, just the water that I squirted activated it and gave me this, I want to show you, gave me this really cool looking pattern. I don't know if you can see it, but it's the pattern that was the, now I need to wipe this off here. It was the pattern that was my paper towel. All right, so I'm just quickly going to dry this that got wet here in the middle. And let's put that over here out of the way. And then we can take our gloves off. So far so good. I'm happy with it so far. It's the colors that I wanted. It's the natural greens and browns. It's got some gold in it. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to take my gloves off because my favorite, right here, my favorite. Well, you know what? I do need to take them off, but I can put them back on. So let's put that away. So before I use this, or maybe I'll go on and use this and then and then I can, because I'm still going to use my vintage photo on here too. Yeah, I want to add some of this around the edge here, but not close to the edge. Okay. Now I need this, and I don't need that. Oh, my coffee. Now, where's my... There it is. I want my little one. Now, I'm just using my Distress ink in Vintage Photo, but I'm using my little brush, my little makeup brush, because I want to go around the edge here. This little brush might just be kind of useless because the bristles are so soft. Yeah, I think it's just kind of useless. Let's use the bigger one. I don't think that's the color I want. I think I want something darker. Let's try that one. I want something darker. All right, that one's not working either. Where's burnt? There. That one will do it. Okay. All right. This is the little card. Oops, I smushed it, didn't I? Okay. Now, I don't want this to be white. I don't want this to be really dark. So let's schmuck it up here a little bit. Okay, I used scorched timber and now on the base, and now I'm using my vintage photo over the top of it. Now I'm not completely covering it. I want a little bit of the cream showing through, but I don't want the whole thing. I don't want the whole thing white. Needs a little bit over here. I want it to look kind of dirty in places, like, you know, like it's been dug up from this place. Okay, I think the middle needs to be a little darker. Now, if you don't like this look that I'm doing, by all means, you could dye yours with your inks. You could dye yours with your oxides. I've showed you how to do that before. So you could, you know, you could dye yours with your oxides, with your inks. You could do a lot of different things with it. It doesn't have to be made this way. But this is just how I like it. Now, I don't like all things this way, as you saw from the cover of the book. I don't always like things this way. Yeah, I think that'll do. But I do like some things this way. You know, every now and then I do some things different. Okay, so let's take these off so we can do some gluing. Although it might be better off the way I glued it. Leave those on, huh? Okay, now because I'm using a lot of textures, I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac to glue these things down. Okay, now this I'm going to put in the middle, and this is going to go behind it. And this is just dyed cheesecloth. That's all this is. It's coffee dyed cheesecloth. And I'm putting this behind it for some texture. So that's going to go down there. Oh my goodness. That's what happens when I'm not in here for a week and a half. So I'm going to just put some of this down here in the middle. And I'm not doing the whole thing because I'm also going to put some paper behind it. But I'm just putting some in the middle to kind of hold it still. Because I need to drag it out. And then that's going to go in the middle of that. So I'm just putting my glue around this center dial here because I just want to hold that still for a minute while I get, while I get my other pieces ready. just like that. Okay, now my book page. Now, let's move my paper towels here. Now, here's my book page. This is just an over coffee dyed book page that I had in my oven, and it got really over baked. But I love it. I love the way it turned out. It's really baked, and it just ended up looking, well, it ended up looking scorched. And I love the way that it turned out, and I ended up saving it instead of getting rid of it. Now, I can't use it in a book because of the way it looked, because it turned out so brittle, like as a page. So I'm going to put it behind all of that, but I can use it like this. Now, to use it, I have to, come on, I have to make sure that it's glued down because it is so brittle, because it will break. So you have to treat it like fabric. Otherwise, it will break. It will come to pieces. And then I have this piece of stamped tissue paper that I want to put up here. Actually, I think I want to put it down here. And I'm going to, I have a little bit of this on my hand. And because I'm going to put the tissue paper at the bottom, this green is going over here. So that can go there. Now I'm just using my glue stick for that tissue paper. Oh wait, no, I put the green in the wrong spot. Darn it, darn it. The green was supposed to be going over there. I hope I have enough glue on it. Like that. Okay, so this little piece of tissue paper, and I just took coffee dyed tissue paper and I stamped on it. And coffee dye and tissue paper is a lot of fun, but you have to be really careful with it. And the way I do it is I take, I just buy regular white tissue paper, and I don't unfold it a lot. You know how you take it out of the package. I don't take it completely out of the package. I slide the sleeve off, and then now you can buy tan tissue paper, but it all is the same color and it's all the same shade. I prefer to coffee dye it, so I unfold it this way, long ways, and then I unfold it widthwise, and I lay it in where my coffee bath is, and which is going to be a cookie sheet, and then I pour my coffee over it. Now you have to leave it alone. You can't touch it because it will disintegrate. And if you start touching it and messing with it, you've just destroyed it, because it's not going anywhere. So once you get it in there, you have to leave it alone. So you have to do it like in the summer months, or in time that you can put it someplace that you can just leave it be. So I do mine in the summer when I can put it out on my deck, and I just put it out there and I just leave it alone. And I don't put it in so much coffee that it's going to completely disintegrate. I just take a little bit, and usually I use my turkey baster, and I'll suck a little bit of it up, and I'll open it up a few pages, a few of the bigger pages, and I'll squirt some in, and then I'll close, I'll squirt a little bit more in, and then I'll close, and then I just leave it sit there. I don't touch it anymore after that for the day until it's all dried and it is completely dried and all soaked up. And then I'm done. And then I can bring it in and use it. Or I make sure it's dry. I make sure that I can open it and let maybe some more pieces dry. And I'll usually pick some of the hottest days that we have. And those are usually going to be, for us here in my part of Pennsylvania, in July and in August. So that's when I do mine. So you can pick some of your hot days and you can coffee dye yours. Now to stamp on them, you just tear off pieces and you just take a permanent ink. Okay, you want a permanent ink. You don't want to stamp with oxide. You want to take one of your permanent inks, whether it's black, brown, blue, purple, doesn't matter, and some of your favorite stamps, and you just stamp on them. And then you can tear them apart and you can use them as little pieces on your pages. And they're a lot of fun to use because all of a sudden you have these cute little additions that you can just stick someplace like this. And there we go. We are finished and I love it. I love it. So there it is. That's my combination of pages by Peggy Tunnell. She inspired me from her 2 pages. This was what I came up with. Thank you, Peggy, for your inspiration. I had so much fun today with you guys, and I really and truly do hope that this video turns out so nicely for you guys with my new camera. I hope that you can see it well, and I hope that you were able to understand everything that was going on. If not, please let me know, and I'll just have to do it again. So, until I see you again in our next Ladybug Journals video, ta-ta for now.